السلام
Sometimes
عليكم
when
ورحمة
I...
الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. Who is it?
مستر أحمد. مستر أحمد إسماعيل.
Hello, Mr. Ahmed. Thanks for being with me today. Okay, we're going to start, inshallah, right now.
Thank you. Welcome.
Okay. All right, guys. In the name of Allah, we start our fourth session, online session, TTAC 4. So welcome to Teach, Engage, Aspire, TAC 4, Force of Habit, presented by Marwa Seif. And today is the 10th of December, 2022. Okay, let me remind you about the rules of the session. First of all, please mute yourselves, raise your hand to discuss or answer questions, and lower it after you have finished. Write in the chat box if you have something to add or a problem to complain about. Actively participate in the activities. All right? So let's start. And the objectives of the module are, by the end of this module, the participants will be able to use will and would to talk about characteristics, habits, insistence, criticism, and disapproval. Number 2, understand the role of word stress in changing meaning with will and would, as well as for more general application. Number 3, apply an understanding of different learning styles and the theory of multiple intelligences to their own teaching practice. It means to your own teaching practice, okay? You are the participants. Number 4, design and use a wide variety of activities for different learning styles. Number 5 and last, make informed decisions about lesson planning in relation to individual learner needs and interests. So let's start our first activity here. I have a question to ask you first. What makes a good teacher according to your own viewpoint? So, yeah, maybe I can get you into the breakout rooms for, I guess, 3 minutes. Some groups of you will give me some ideas that you will share inside the rooms. As for what makes a good teacher, the characteristics of a good teacher, but in 3 perspectives actually, from a parent's perspective, I mean viewpoint, and for a learner's viewpoint or perspective, and for another teacher's perspective or viewpoint. So some groups are going to give me their ideas about what makes a good teacher, but from a parent's viewpoint. And other groups will give me the ideas about the characteristics of good teachers from a learner's perspective. Some others will give me ideas from another teacher's ideas. Okay, so are you ready to get into the breakout rooms, guys? Or let it be later on when more and more participants come in and we have like a choral discussion or something. Okay, let me have a better idea now. Let me have a poll, okay, to have some time before our other colleagues join us. I have a poll here for you. You will find like a question that I'll ask you and you answer me on your screen. Not that one, another one. I'll make you a new one, a new poll. Poll means a survey. You have a question and the question is, what makes a good teacher from a parent viewpoint? I mean a parent's viewpoint, but because of the keyboard, I don't have the apostrophe here. Okay, viewpoint. Write your opinion here. What makes a good teacher from a parent viewpoint? So let's start the poll. Write your ideas and you will see the ideas and the answers of yours and of your colleagues as well. So start submitting now the answers. Okay? Till now, I don't have answers coming in. So I'm waiting for your answers. Right? Okay, you write here, by the way. Yes, somebody says professional. Yes, I agree with you. A good teacher is a professional kind of teacher, a professional one. This is from a parent viewpoint, a parent's perspective. Okay, he's professional. He's patient. Okay, yes. To be patient with, yeah. Honest, wonderful. Encourage students, excellent. Okay, good ideas. What else? Your ideas keep coming in. I'm waiting for your responses. Firm, yeah, strict, being firm. He can provide good classroom management. Yes, he can control the whole thing. Wonderful. What else? Okay, this is from a parent's perspective, from a parent's viewpoint. Wonderful. So let me ask you another question and make another poll for you here. What makes a good teacher from a, yeah, from a student's perspective? What makes a good teacher from a student's, okay, perspective, viewpoint, perspective. You can write just one word, you can write 2 words, you can write a sentence, as you like. I guess you have the poll now and you can provide answers. And you can see the answers of your colleagues here on the screen because I'm sharing my screen. Waiting for your answers and responses about the characteristics. Creative, great. So a student needs a teacher who is creative, yes, to provide him or her with fun and enjoyable activities, to involve him and her, to integrate the listeners or the students, yes, in active learning. Fair, yes, you should be fair and just, yes, to deal with all the students equally. Excellent. I like your ideas, by the way. What else? 2 responses only. Motivated. Yes, the teacher should be motivated about his career, because if he is motivated, you mean, yeah, somebody wrote also motivating. Excellent. Yeah, I was about to comment on that. So if he is motivated, he is enthusiastic about his career, he is going to motivate the learners, so they will be he will be providing them with motivating activities, and the students will be motivated as well. Very good. Creative, motivated, motivating, fair, excellent. Okay. Funny. Yes, funny teachers are attractive kind of teachers because they have sense of humor. It's very important not to be rigid kind of teachers all the time. Okay, smart. Yes, you need a teacher who is smart, who understands the needs and interests of his learners, the type of intelligence of his learners. Wonderful. 8 responses here. Okay, now let me ask you the 3rd question, but not in the form of a poll here, to vary our techniques. I want you to unmute yourself, introduce yourself, and answer this question. What are the characteristics of a good teacher according to the teachers, the colleague's viewpoint, from the perspective of another teacher? Okay, just raise your hand and I nominate you and you speak immediately. Who's raising his or her hand? Let me see. Think a little bit. You have time to think. Some people wrote in the chat box some answers. Mrs. Amira, you are raising your hand. Just go ahead. Mr. Ahmed wrote he should be imaginative, active, helpful, and knowledgeable. Excellent, Mr. Ahmed. I'm totally with you. Yes. Mrs. Amira, go ahead. You're raising your hand.
Okay, teacher should be professional, organized, develop personal and professional qualities, improve knowledge and skills.
Yes. Wonderful.
independent learning skills, learning new ideas and the teaching technique, flexibility, problem solving, friendliness, leadership, good sense of humor, just you said.
Excellent. Of course, definitely. That's it. Yes. Wonderful ideas here. So, any other comments or additions to that? Thank you, Mrs. Amira.
Thank you, Ms. Mara.
Mrs. Fathaya, go ahead. You're raising your hand. And Mrs. Hiba after you.
Yes, Ms. Marwa, I
Yes.
think you should know something about every learner in the class.
Excellent, Mrs. Fathaya. We have been discussing this point at large during the last session. Do you remember? To understand the learners and
Yes,
to have a survey and to learn more information about them. Excellent. Excellent idea here. Thank you. Mrs. Hiba Salah?
Yes, Ms. Marwa.
Yeah.
The good teacher should be helpful to another teachers and should teach students more and help them to be the best.
Excellent. Yes, definitely. I totally agree with you. Of course, a teacher should be having lots and lots of characteristics in order to suit the needs and interests not only of the students but also of parents and colleagues and the institution and the whole educational system as well. Do you agree with me, guys?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So please don't forget to lower your hand after raising it. Thank you. That's great. Have a look at this slide here. Now you have to listen to an audio, okay, where you compare your ideas, the ideas that you have been providing with other ideas of foreigners. So just a second, let me hide this slide a bit. Okay. Yes. So are you ready to listen to this audio?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay. What?
we are ready.
Okay. So you are going to listen and compare your ideas with the ones that you have provided, your ideas with the ones here in the audio. So please, guys, tell me, you are going to listen or read or write. What are you going exactly to do?
Listen.
Listen.
You're going to listen. And what's the task during listening or after it?
listen and
About the
write.
good.
Compare.
Compare answers.
Compare ideas with the, yeah, very good. How much time did I get you? Or I didn't assign a time. You have 2 minutes. Okay,
5 minutes.
let's listen. 5 minutes, that's much. Let it be 1 or 2 minutes, okay, at most. So just assure me that you can listen to the audio.
When I was at second
Is the sound clear?
Yes, Ms. Mara.
Okay.
secondary school, I had an English teacher called Miss Brown. She was a brilliant teacher, a real inspiration to her pupils. She made a lot of effort to get to know us, not just as a class, but also as individuals, so that she could relate to our needs and our interests. She knew her subject well and could be very motivating. That meant she was challenging too, but always in a supportive way. She encouraged us to read for pleasure, and from the first day she met us would even help us to choose books she thought would appeal to us. She had a great sense of humor. Sometimes she was really funny about quite serious subjects and would make us laugh out loud, without ever losing control of the class. Above all, she was fair. She treated us with respect and, although she could be strict, she was understanding and ready to help us with any difficulties we had.
Okay, now, do you find that the ideas are different or similar to the ones that you have provided a while ago?
Similar to what listen?
Yes, similar. Okay. Are there any additional ideas in the audio that we haven't discussed?
Yes.
What, miss? What are they?
Teacher should make a great efforts, know the subject well, encourage the students, and be great sense and funny with the students, control the school and fair, respected, understanding, and another.
Okay, by the way, you have provided all these ideas. You are wonderful teachers. You have covered all these points. Thank you so much. Okay, now here are the ideas. Let me show you. Okay. Here are the ideas for the parent, for a learner, and for another teacher. The same as you have been tackling in your discussion. So I have another task for you. You have to listen to the same audio again, but this time you are going to find pairs of similar adjectives. So in the audio, the speaker uses some adjectives like perceptive, brilliant, inspiring, funny, motivating, and so on. I want you to listen again, and this audio is very short. Okay, it's not that much. I won't keep you longer. Okay, and you tell me the pairs of synonymous adjectives. For example, from here, yes, the word perspective, what's the synonym of it according to your understanding from the audio? So let's start. Please mute yourselves, guys, my dear colleagues. Mute yourselves. Somebody is having background noise. Let me see who is that guy. Mute yourselves before we listen to the audio. Yes. Great. Everybody's muted now. Great. So let's start in the name of Allah.
When I was at secondary school, I had an English teacher called Miss Brown. She was a brilliant teacher, a real inspiration to her pupils. She made a lot of effort to get to know us, not just as a class, but also as individuals, so that she could relate to our needs and our interests. She knew her subject well and could be very motivating. That meant she was challenging too, but always in a supportive way. She encouraged us to read for pleasure, and from the first day she met us would even help us to choose books she thought would appeal to us. She had a great sense of humor. Sometimes she was really funny about quite serious subjects and would make us laugh out loud, without ever losing control of the class. Above all, she was fair. She treated us with respect and, although she could be strict, she was understanding and ready to help us with any difficulties we had. When I was
Yeah, now I want you to form pairs of synonymous adjectives. Adjectives from these ones in the box that were involved in the audio having the same meaning. What are they? Raise your hand and go ahead. It's an easy activity for you. You are teachers of English, of course. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, people who are providing me with likes. Okay, raising hands. Synonymous adjectives, pairs of synonymous adjectives. Oh, okay, let me ask you. The first word here. Okay, Mrs. Fathaya, you are raising your hand. Go ahead.
I think means fun, motivating.
Sorry, I can't hear you well because there is a lot of background noise, miss. Try again, please. Try again. Yes.
Humorous means funny.
Yes, excellent. That's one thing. Thank you. Yeah, humorous
Uh,
means
okay,
funny. Excellent. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough.
okay.
Okay, Mr. Ahmed Abu Zaid. Go ahead, my dear colleague. Mr. Ahmed, you're raising your hand. Unmute and speak immediately. Okay, till Mr. Ahmed speaks, we have Mrs. Amira Rouini raising her hand. Go ahead, Miss Amira.
Yes, Miss Marwa.
Yeah.
Brilliant, intelligent.
Excellent, brilliant, and intelligent. Yes, I agree with you. The brilliant teacher is an intelligent one too. Very good. Who else? Okay, do we have Mr. Ahmed Abu Zaid? I want all of you to participate actively today. Mr. Ahmed, are you here with us? Okay, Mrs. Amira, you are raising your hand again. Go ahead.
Miss Marwa, motivating, challenging.
Motivating and challenging. Yes, definitely. I totally agree with you. Yes, motivating and challenging. They are the same. Thank you. What else?
Thank you.
I guess Mrs. Hiba had to answer. She had, yeah, Mr. Ahmed, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, Marwa. Perceptive means understanding.
Very good. Perceptive means understanding. Wonderful. That's great. What else? Any other volunteers?
Yes, Miss Marwa.
Yes, mister?
Inspiring means demanding.
Okay, inspiring means demanding. He's all the time giving you ideas, and a person who is giving you ideas is always demanding for more. He has lots and higher, achievement and ambition. Mrs. Hiba, again, you can add, of course. Go ahead. Mrs. Hiba Saleh.
Motivation.
Motivating equal to what?
Encourage.
Encouraging, yes. Motivating, encouraging, yes. That's one thing, yes. You know that adjectives can have lots of meanings, different meanings, but various meanings. Mr. Ahmed, if you don't have something to add, just lower your hand for me not to get confused, okay? Thank you for understanding.
Yes, Ms. Marwa.
Yes, mister, go ahead.
I think that the last one is motivating means challenging.
Okay, here are the model answers we have here. As you can see in the slide, perceptive means understanding, brilliant means intelligent, as you have said, funny means humorous, inspiring means motivating, and demanding means challenging. As you like, you know that the words may have lots of meanings and various kinds of meanings. Let's move on to another activity here. Guys, have a look at the slide. Please read the first sentence. Okay, I write I here. I think it will rain tomorrow. Can anybody tell me what's this form? What's this form here? What's the grammatical rule here?
This
Future.
form.
Mrs. Fathaya raising her hand.
Miss Marwa, I think it's a simple future.
Simple future with the modal verb, which is
Well,
okay, miss.
well,
Okay, what does it refer to? The meaning of the sentence.
it refers to the future.
The future.
I-
What
uh,
exactly?
Something will happen tomorrow, not today. Tomorrow it will happen tomorrow.
Okay, let me ask you, is it a prediction?
Yes, it's a prediction.
Do we have an evidence?
We don't have. It's from my point of view,
Excellent.
or
That's it.
the
Excellent. Yes. So when we use the rule or the form will plus infinitive for expressing future, it means one of the uses, of course, because there are lots of uses for the form will plus infinitive, it connotates the prediction but without evidence. Excellent. So please read the second sentence. I read it for you and you illustrated the rule and the meaning, please. The match starts at 7 p.m. tomorrow. The match starts at 7 p.m. tomorrow. What tense is it? And what form is it? And what's the meaning exactly? Mrs. Fatima, my dear colleague, you are raising your hand. Go ahead.
Hello, Miss Mar.
Hello.
I think sentence number 2 is a present simple tense.
Excellent.
It refers to an appointment or a time in a schedule, something
Okay.
that is fact. An
Okay, let me
appointment.
ask you. Let me ask you. Does it refer to the future or the present?
Future.
Okay, what's the form? Is it future? Is the form future?
No, it's a present simple.
Why? Why do they use the present simple to refer to the future?
It's a
Why
plan
here?
or an arrangement. It's a plan or an arrangement.
Is it a plan or arrangement? Do you agree, guys? Do you agree with that?
Timetables, Miss Marwa.
Mrs. Lamia, I guess who is
Timetable.
reading? I can't read the whole name. Yes.
Yes. Hi.
Yes.
Yes.
Timetables.
Sometimes.
In a
Scheduled.
schedule.
Yes.
Scheduled actions. Excellent. Thank you, miss. Yes. So when you refer to the scheduled actions that are put in timetables, so you know Yes, it's scheduled, Mrs. Fatima. Yeah, I totally agree with you. That's it. So it's scheduled action. It's present simple. It's not present simple. The form is present simple, though the meaning refers to the future, right? Doesn't
Yes.
it strange a little? Okay, what about the third sentence? Mr. Ahmed, you can read sentence number 3 and I ask you questions because you are raising your hand. Shall I read it for you? Okay. Mr. Ahmed will always sleep early and get up early. Mr. Ahmed will always sleep early and get up early. Please tell me, what form is this? What is the form itself? Huh? The form. The form means, yes, Mrs. Fatima, you are raising your hand again. Go ahead.
It's a future symbol with present symbol.
My Mr. Ahmed will always sleep early and get up early.
Future symbol.
Future symbol. What's the form? I mean the form in writing. The auxiliary verb or the modal verb, which is
Present symbol.
no. Well plus
I
Mr.
think
Ahmed will.
he is speaking about a habit.
Excellent. You are speaking about the meaning, Mrs. Fatima. You are trying to tell me that the sentence it refers to the present, Miss Marwa. Yeah, you need to tell me, my dear colleague, Miss Marwa, it's present, it's not future, Miss. That's why I'm asking you about the form. The form is well plus infinitive, but the meaning is present simple, habit in the present, right? Okay, that's an idea that I want to warm you up for the next activity, which is a little bit confusing. So maybe sometimes I have a form that refers to a certain tense, but the meaning refers to another tense. So please, not necessarily that when you see well plus infinitive, you believe or think that it's present simple, for example. Uh, I'm sorry, can you hear me? I think that I have something wrong with the connection. Can you hear me? Can you hear me,
Miss
guys?
Marwa.
Yes, Miss Marwa.
Can
Yes,
you
Miss
hear me
Marwa.
now?
Yes, hear you.
Hello? Can you hear me, guys? Something wrong with the connection, I guess. Can you
Yes,
hear me now?
we can.
Hear
Yes, we
you.
can hear.
Assure me, please. Yeah. Thank Allah.
Yes.
Thank
Hear
Allah. I would just try.
Miss Marwa.
Yes, Mister. Okay. Yes, Miss. Thank you. I'm just trying to tell you that sometimes the form refers to the future because it's well plus infinitive, for example, but the meaning is present simple, is the present habit in the present, for example. Let's have a look at this activity. 2 sentences here, and please tell me the meaning. Tell me about the meaning. Number 1. Can you hear me, guys, now?
Yes, Miss Marwa, we can hear
Yes,
you.
yes. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, guys, can you hear me now? Okay, something wrong. You can hear me. Okay. Alhamdulillah. Okay, 2 sentences. A good teacher will plan lessons to meet learner needs and interests. This sentence refers to the habit in the present. It expresses habit in the present. Though it's formed of well plus infinitive, okay, because the good teacher will always plan lessons in order to meet and address learner needs and to suit learner needs and interests. The second example here, he will keep forgetting things. He will keep forgetting things. That means that I'm angry about this. I'm expressing criticism. I'm stressing the auxiliary will because I'm annoyed. I don't want this person to do this again, but he will insist on doing this in the future. So this is criticism, not merely a future fact or a future event. Okay? So I have an activity for you here. We have sentences and the words are highlighted. Certain words are highlighted, stressed, and you have to read the sentences and tell me what is the meaning of the sentence? Does it refer to future habit? Habit in the present, or future event, or criticism? So now, guys, I'll get you into the breakout rooms. We have 10 sentences. You will find them on page. Let me tell you about the page on your trainees book. Just a second. I'll have it here. I'll tell you about the page itself. It's on page, yeah, it's on page 78. 10 sentences, and you have to get into the breakout rooms. Can you hear me?
Yes, Miss Maro.
Okay, I'll get you into the breakout rooms. 5 minutes. You share ideas and try to answer these questions. What does every sentence refer to? Does it refer to present habit, or future event, or criticism? So let me just get you into the breakout rooms. I hope it works because the connection today, I don't know what's wrong with it. Just a second. In the name of Allah, before we start anything, we just say, in the name of Allah. So after saying this, inshallah, everything is going to be easy. Just bear us in this because this takes time. You have 5 minutes to enter the rooms. We have 5 rooms. Very well. In the name of Allah. It's taking time a little bit. I'm sorry for that. Maybe sometimes the connection is not the perfect one, though I've prepared everything. But when we say in the name of Allah, everything gets easy. Don't worry. Some people are in the room, others are not in the room. Lots of people are not assigned rooms. Okay, let me assign participants here. Okay, yes, and yes, and yes. And Mrs. Umayma and Mr. Assign. Room 1, assign. For other people who are not in the room, please, you can kindly note that you can have a discussion here as if we are in a room. I'll not speak. Imagine that you are in a room and speak together, somebody to control the whole thing, and you speak immediately answering the questions, not to waste the time, okay? Hello, everyone. You can speak now, as if you were in a room or so, because some people don't have the latest version of Teams, so they are not assigned rooms. You can discuss the whole thing here. We have Mrs. Lamia, we have Mrs. Amal, we have Mr. Ahmed and Mr. Said, Mr. Usama, Mrs. Heba, Mrs. Sura. Lots of people here. You can discuss the questions and the sentences here. Start now. I'll not speak. If you can hear me. Mr. Ahmed, you are raising your hand. Is it from the other activity or from the last activity or something new that you came across?
From the last activity.
Somebody's trying to call me now, so I'm sorry for that. Guys, can you hear me? Hello, everyone. Are you there?
Yes.
Yes, we hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry for that. It seems that our colleague, Mrs. Dua, is calling me all the time, so she interrupts the session. I'm sorry for that. Now, are we back? Hello, everyone. Can you hear me, guys?
Yes.
Sure, we can hear you.
Yes.
Okay, our colleague, actually, Mrs. Dua, is trying to call me on the phone, so she interrupts the internet supply. I'm sorry for that. Please send her a message on the group or WhatsApp. Tell her not to call now because this interrupts the session, guys. Please. Okay. Somebody to tell her not to call now because this interrupts the session, the flow of the session, the internet supply here. Okay, please.
Okay, please.
Yeah, sorry for.
So I'm back again with you guys. So let's discuss the questions here. Let me share again. Let me share the screen again. Sorry for inconvenience. When somebody calls you and you are on a session, online session, this interrupts the internet supply, so you get out of the meeting as a whole. It's like, a disaster. So let's start and complete our practice here. Who can answer these questions, guys? What did you do in the breakout rooms? Did you manage to discuss in the rooms? Just tell me, please, how it went. Hello? Let me see who is raising hand. Mrs. Lamia, go ahead, Mrs. Lamia. Yes.
Yes. The first sentence, my year two students just one lesson.
Mhm.
Yes,
Yes.
she is complaining about her students or criticize him for not listening.
Yes. Excellent. And what is the part of the word that is stressed here? The highlighted word, what is it?
I think it won.
Yes, it's want.
One lesson.
Yes. When you stress the auxiliary, it means that you are annoyed, you are bothered, you are criticizing the whole thing or the action itself. Okay, thank you. What about number 2? What about number 2, guys? Again, Mrs. Lamia, no other participants?
Yes.
Any other volunteers?
Yes, I think it has the same meaning. She's complaining about her actions as she spent much time on the internet. I think so.
Let me ask you a question. What if we stress the word every day, every evening? What's the meaning of the word, of the sentence then? What would be the meaning?
She is complaining at the same time every evening.
Okay. Do you agree, guys? She's complaining. What about other ideas of our colleagues? Mrs. Fathaya tells me that they are in the breakout rooms. Really? Till now? Okay, let me stop the rooms just a second. Maybe they can't get into the main room because of the connection. The rooms have, close the rooms. Let us have them back. Just a second, guys. Let's have our colleagues back. Okay. Welcome back, guys. Sorry for inconvenience. Yeah, it's somebody's call, having a phone call now that interrupted the whole thing. Yes. I'm closing the rooms and you are back. and we are to discuss the activity together. Sorry for the inconvenience. Good. Good. Now you are back. Okay, what about sentence number 2? You said it's complaining. It's somebody's criticizing or complaining about something. Any other ideas here? Do you agree, Mrs. Hiba? Go ahead.
Yes, Miss Marwa.
Yeah.
Number 1.
Number 2. We discussed number 1, and our colleague said that it refers to the
Present simple. Habit in the present.
okay, habit in the present.
Yes.
Is it habit in the
Number
present? I'm
yes.
listening, miss. Go ahead. Yeah.
Number 2, she will spend hours on the internet every evening. This habit in the present also.
Habit in the present. Another idea, guys. Okay. Because our colleague said it was complaint or criticism. Okay. Actually, I agree that it's a habit in the present, because when you stress the action itself or some other parts of the sentence, then you refer to a habit in the present. But when you stress the auxiliary verb, which is will, it means that you are criticizing and you get bothered of this action. Okay, number 3, I need a volunteer to answer it. So read it and tell me, what is it? Is it a habit in the present? Is it a future event or express criticism? Mrs. Lamia, Mrs.
I think it's expresses.
Yes. Go ahead, Miss.
It expresses future. So something that will happen in the future.
I'll mark their homework later on today. Today. So he stresses, he doesn't stress the form, which is future. He stresses the word that refers to the present. What would it be? Think again. Okay, guys, don't worry. Now, because it's today, so they are stressing the present, the word that has to do with the present. Okay, so it's of course present. What about number 4? He will keep leaving the tops of the board pins.
Future.
Future. Yes, future. Is it future? Somebody else? Mrs. Fatima, go ahead.
It's a criticism.
It's a criticism because she's stressing the auxiliary verb. Yes. Yes. By the way, I have to tell you something. Don't be confused, please, because sometimes when you stress the word, you know that you are conveying a certain message. Okay, you have something to tell the listeners. Okay, not merely the rule that you are accustomed with. Okay, not necessarily that it is the rule referring to the future. This is the idea actually from this activity, and I'm not going to take long in this activity because you have the model answers here, whether each sentence refers to the criticism, future, habit in the present. You have the answers. You can discuss them later on, not to waste the time, because we have lots of areas to discuss. The idea, the general idea that you have to come up with is that you sometimes you stress a certain part of the sentence in order to refer to some purpose, maybe a habit in the present, maybe a future event, or even criticism. That's the idea, according to your purpose, according to what you mean to convey itself. So again, here we have another area of knowledge that has to do with grammar. Please tell me what's the use of the expression used to. What do you used to? Again, okay. I don't know what to do actually. Our colleague is calling me again. I'm sorry, guys. Our colleague is calling me again, and this interrupts the whole session. And I told you, please tell her not to call me. I'll tell her on the WhatsApp. Don't worry. I'll tell her. Just give me a chance because this interrupts the whole session, actually. Because I have the net supply from the internet, so this interrupts the whole session. Okay, now tell me, guys, what do you use used to for?
Habit in the past.
Used habit in the past, exactly. And what would you use the expression or the modal verb would plus infinitive to? Use it to express what exactly? Sorry?
A repeated past action.
Repeated action. Yes, repeated action. Okay, repeated action. What about used to? Is it repeated action too or not?
No,
Used
use
is also a
habit.
repeated action, but
Okay, I'll tell you something. Have a look at this slide here. We have two terms, the stative verbs and the dynamic verbs. The stative verbs are the verbs that refer to perceptions, sensations like see or hear, having, possessing, and being, for example, verb to be, coast, have, and the cognition and emotion verbs like think, feel, as you see on the slide, stances or situations like sit, live, stand, and we have other types of verbs which are called dynamic verbs, and they are action verbs like eat, drink, go to school, study hard, jump, sit, like this. Okay, those are two types of verbs. I have to tell you that you use used to with these two types, the stative verbs and the dynamic verbs. But you use would, this for would plus infinitive only to refer to dynamic verbs, the action verbs, the verbs that are performed. Okay, because there is a difference here in meaning and not in meaning, actually in the use itself. And we have an activity here where you have sentences and you decide. Just a second, it's not that one. Okay, this one, we have two sentences and you have to tell me, you read the sentence and you tell me, can we use and used to instead of would in the first sentence? Who can read it and think about it and tell me? Is it possible to replace would in the first sentence here on the slide with the form used to in this sentence? If so, does it change the meaning or the same? And the second sentence, we have used to in the sentence here. Can we replace it using would or we can't? And why? Think a little bit and tell me. Just our colleague Mrs. Dua can't enter the meeting. Something wrong with her numbers or connections. I'm trying to tell her on the WhatsApp. Just give me a chance while you think about the answers of the questions. Let me tell her that she has to press the link. Okay, till you are ready to answer the questions. You have 1 minute to answer the questions, guys, and then we discuss together, okay? Okay, now let's discuss together. Who's ready to answer the first one? Let me check the participants who are raising their hands. I have, yeah. Let me check participants. Yes, 5 people are raising their hands. Wonderful. So we have Mrs. Wafa, a new hand today. Go ahead, Mrs. Wafa.
We can replace what with used to because the verb help is a dynamic verb.
Excellent.
The meaning, there is no change in the meaning. We express repeated actions or habit in the past. We can
That's
use
it.
them at يعني
That's
الاتنين.
it. Interchangeably. You can use it interchangeably. Yes, excellent. That's it. If you have a look at the first sentence, my best teacher was last year's form teacher. He would always help you when you didn't understand something. It wasn't a problem. So would here is followed by the verb, which is a dynamic verb. It's an action verb. You can use used to. Of course, there is no change in the meaning. Excellent, miss. Thank you so much. So let me check other participants here to speak about or discuss the second sentence. I have Miss Amal. No, she's not raising her hand. We have, I need some other new hands actually. Mr. Ahmed Al-Naggar, you are raising your hand, my dear colleague. Go ahead. Go ahead. Unmute yourself first. Unmute yourself and speak immediately. We can hear you. Okay, Mrs. Amira, go ahead. You're raising your hand.
Yes, Miss Marm.
Let me show you the screen.
We can't replace used to with would. Because
Sorry?
we can't replace.
Excellent. Why?
Because we have a stative verb, have.
Excellent, excellent, miss. That's it. That's the idea. So when we have stative verbs or dynamic verbs, we can use used to. But when we have dynamic verbs only, we can use would only. Dynamic verbs with would. Okay? But when we have stative verbs, we can't use would with stative verbs like what I have explained a while ago. Okay? Very good. So let's move on to another activity here. I have another activity for you. Number 1, I work in a small village school. I work in a small village school. Should we use would or used to, or we can use both? Mrs. Fatima, you are raising your hand. Go ahead, my dear colleague, if you can hear me.
I work in a small village school. We can use used to, and also we can use would. It's a dynamic verb.
Excellent, yes. Used to or would, because this is a repeated action and it's a dynamic verb and it can go with both of them here. I should hear you right. And also, let me write it here in the would. Excellent, yes. That's it. What about number 2? Let me check the participants who are raising their hands. Number 2, read it. I have very dark black hair. Shall I use would have or used to have or both of them? Let me check. It's I have Mrs. Fathia raising her hand. That is the sentence. I have very dark black hair. In the past, of course. Mrs. Fathia, you're raising your hand. Go ahead.
Yes, Miss Marwa, I think we use used to. We can't use would because have is a static verb.
Excellent. Stative verb. So I use used to. Okay, it doesn't go with would. Excellent. What about number 3? In those days, we blah 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 often play football in the street. We often play. Let me check participants. You have background noise. Mute yourself. You have background noise. I have Mrs. Lamia. You are raising your hand. Mrs. Lamia.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
I think we can use both of them, as the verb play is a dynamic verb. So we can use both, either would or used to.
Excellent.
Both of them
Excellent.
are correct, yes.
Excellent, as you see on the slide. Excellent. Thank you so much. What about number 4? Well, we blah 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 spend very little money on going out. spend very little money on going out. Let me check the participants. Raising hands. Mrs. Hiba Saleh. Yes.
Yes, Marwa. I
Yeah.
think we use spend very little money on going out because it's a dynamic verb.
Dynamic verb goes with both of them, of course, right? Yes, the dynamic verb goes with would and with used to as well. Okay? Remember this, please. All right, guys? So when we have a dynamic verb like this, we can use either used to or would to refer to the past. What about number 5, E? Let me check. Participants. I have lots of people raising hands. So, Mr. Ahmed, you are raising your hand, or maybe from the last activity. Mrs. Fatima Mahmoud, my dear colleague. Go ahead, miss. I'll show you the slide. We?
Yes,
No,
miss.
yes. We, blah, 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 go to the
We
cinema.
go to the go is a dynamic verb, so we can use the would or use the
Excellent. That's it. Correct answer. So this is how it goes. I will not complete the activity because I have lots of other activities to do. Inshallah, if nobody calls me and interrupts the session anymore. I'm sorry for what happened. Actually, it was a disaster today. Okay, people calling you and interrupting the session and actually stops the flowing of the session. That's a catastrophe. Okay, so you will complete it at home and tell me about the answers in the group. And maybe if you do like this, you will have the answer. So I'm hiding it like this. I will send you, inshallah, the PowerPoint on the WhatsApp. I have here 2 videos. It's one video actually, but 2 parts of the video, of the same video about stress. And what does stress convey? What meaning does it convey? So please, I will get you to listen and watch the video and take notes and tell me after the video what you got out of it. So I hope that you can see just assure me that you can see it. Picture and sound.
Hi, I'm Kai. Welcome to...
Okay, now, can you see the picture? Of course not, right? Can you see the picture? Is picture clear?
Yeah. No.
No, the sound only, right?
No.
Sound only,
Yes,
right?
yes, the sound only.
Don't worry, I have plan B. Just a second. I have it here. Okay, no problem. This time you will listen.
Hi, I'm Kai. Welcome to Oxford on...
Now, guys, assure me that you can see the picture and hear the sound.
Yes, picture and sound.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, I'll take parts of it only because it's so long. Just parts. So you listen and take notes.
Online English. In this lesson, you can learn about sentence stress in English.
Stress is very important for your English pronunciation. There are many different types of stress in English, and stress is used in many different ways. But wait a minute, what is stress?
Stress means that you pronounce some syllables more strongly than others. More strongly means you pronounce these syllables more loudly, more clearly, and more slowly.
Pronouncing sentence stress correctly will make a big difference to your English pronunciation. You'll immediately sound clearer and more natural when you speak English. Let's start by looking at sentence stress in more detail.
Look at a sentence. How about we go for a coffee this afternoon? In this sentence, there are 2 kinds of words. Let's call them content words and grammar words.
Content words give you the meaning of the sentence. The content words here are go, coffee, this, and afternoon. If you don't hear these words, you won't understand the sentence. Grammar words don't carry meaning. They're grammatically necessary. They connect the content words together.
Think about it this way. If someone comes up to you and says, "Go coffee this afternoon," you can understand what they mean, even if it sounds a bit weird. 2 ideas. For example, "Oh, Mikey,
China."
this idea. Why does this happen?
Okay, that's good. This part, I have another part for you to watch about conveying a message, and the message differs according to the stress. Okay, so listen to this part. I have 4 minutes. I need 4 minutes, maybe. Yeah, okay.
Why does this happen? One reason is to contradict or correct someone. For example,
Buenos Aires is the capital of China.
"No, Mikey. Buenos Aires is the capital of Argentina. Beijing is the capital of China."
2 plus 2 is 5.
"No, Mikey. 2 plus 2 is 4.
Carrots are green.
"No, Mikey. Carrots are orange." Another reason to add extra stress is that you want to contrast 2 ideas. For example, "I didn't want cappuccino. I want an Americano." "She doesn't live in Paris. She lives in Rome." "The flight left at 10, but I thought it left at 12.
Finally, you might add extra stress just to emphasize one idea in your sentence, like this. "Are you going to London tomorrow?" Meaning, I'm emphasizing the question because I want a yes or no answer from you.
"Are you going to London tomorrow?" Meaning, I know some other people are going to London, but I want to know if you are going. This stress pattern is often used to show surprise.
"Are you going to London tomorrow?" Meaning, I know you're going to London on another day, but I want to know specifically about tomorrow. Again, this suggests that I'm surprised. In all of these cases, you add extra stress to one word in the sentence. This doesn't replace regular sentence stress. Instead, it's like an extra layer on top of it.
In the question, "Are you going to London tomorrow?" the content words "going," "London," and "tomorrow" are stressed. If you want to add stress to emphasize one idea, then you add this on top of the existing stress. For example, "Are you going to London tomorrow?" In this case, you add regular sentence stress to "going," "London," and "tomorrow," and extra sentence stress to "you." The extra stress should be stronger than the regular stress. Try it. Repeat after me. "Are you going to London tomorrow?"
Try one more time. "Are you going to London tomorrow?" Note that this extra stress can be anywhere, including on grammar words. So, now you know the most important points about sentence stress in English.
Here's a question. What do you think you need to focus on most in your English pronunciation? What would make the biggest difference for you? Let us know in the comments. If you give us a good idea, we might make a video about your suggestion.
Did you know that we offer online English classes which can help you to improve your English pronunciation? Check out our website for details, oxfordonlineenglish.com. Thanks for watching.
See you next time.
Okay. Now, did you get anything out of it, guys? Okay, let me check your understanding.
Yes.
I will not ask you. I will just give you examples, practical examples, 2 sentences. And you tell me, how would the meaning change through stress? So I have 2 sentences here on this slide, if you can see it very well. She would do that. She would do that. Please, I want somebody to act, to perform some stress that is different in sentence number 1 and other type of stress that is different in sentence number 2 to convey different messages, to convey different meanings. What would it be? Let me check. And you think. Take your time. I want you to stress one word in sentence number 1 in order to refer to certain meaning. Okay? Maybe criticism. Okay, and in sentence number 2, I want you to stress one word in order to convey, for example, a past event or past habit, repeated action in the past. Let me check participants. I guess somebody is raising hand. Just a second. Mr. Ahmed, you are raising your hand. Is it from the last activity? If you don't have something to add, just lower your hand, please, not to get me confused. Okay? Anybody to share, guys? Let me show you the... Who can act this? Who can answer?
Marwa?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I know, Mrs. Heba. Go ahead.
Yes, this video emphasized about what do we need to focus in the sentence.
Okay, that's great.
Yes, sentence number 1, when we focus on subject, this is a criticism to that she would do that. Maybe don't يعني
Let me give you choices. I'll give you 2 choices only. Okay, I need you to either stress the auxiliary verb would, okay, or the verb itself after would, which is do, and tell me the meaning, the message you want to convey through this kind of stress. And I've told you about it in the last activity, but with will and the infinitive. So how do you act it? Please act this. Perform the pronunciation. Let me see if, Mrs. Hiba, just you can have some time to think again, and then we come back to you. Mrs. Hind, hello. We're eager
Hello,
to your...
Marwa.
Yes, we're looking forward to your participation. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm here with you.
Okay.
We have 2 sentences. She would do that and she would do that, but we will make a different stress on a different word. Okay? Number 1, she would do that. She would do that.
And what's the meaning? What's the message?
It means that I don't like that. It annoys me. So
Excellent.
it is a criticism.
Excellent.
Right?
Yes, that's it.
And number 2, when I say she would do that, she would do that, I stress the verb. So I'm here describing the verb or the behavior. Right?
Excellent.
It's not a criticism. Talking about her action, the
Excellent,
past action.
Excellent, miss. That's it.
That's it.
That's the idea here. Excellent, definitely. Thank you so much. Yes, that's it. So when you stress, yeah, thank you. You're welcome. Yeah. Any other comments here, guys? Any other comments? Mrs. Fatima, you would like to add something? You're raising your hand, or is it from last activity?
Yes. No, Miss Marwa. I think when we stress on do, on sentence number 2, on the verb do, I'm speaking about action itself. She is always doing that.
Yes, yeah, repeated action in the past, because would refers to the past, don't forget that. Okay, repeated action in the past. So he stresses the action itself, so it refers to the habit, that it's repeated, it was regular in the past. Very good, wonderful, guys, you are doing a great job. So let's move on to another activity here. Again, some sentences about the stress and what does it convey. I leave you to this activity to study, because I have more and more activities here. Okay, just a second. And one more activity about stress and expressing habit in the past, disapproval or criticism, like this. You will study these and you have the answer. These are the model answers of activity before it. Now I will try to stress and model the stress here in these 2 sentences in each pair, and you will tell me the meaning of the first one and the meaning of the second one. I have the stress here. Let me model it. I will model it myself, just a second. So number one, in the first pair, in sentences number 1 and 2, number 1, the students will never agree to that, but the teachers just might. Okay, this is number 1. I say it again. The students will never agree to that, but the teachers just might. So let me ask you guys, where is the word that is stressed here? Maybe I say it for the third time. The students will never agree to that, but the teacher just might. Let me check. Mrs. Fathaya, raising your hand. Go ahead.
You stress the word students, Miss Mary.
Excellent, excellent. Yes, of course you want to stress that the words will never agree to that, but the teachers, there is a contradiction between the teachers and the students. Okay, and I'm stressing the students because they are important. They have to agree because they are involved in the whole situation and process of education, learning, and teaching. Okay, number 2. Thank you, Mrs. Fathaya. Number 2, another kind of stress. The students will never agree to that, not in a million years. I'll say it again. The students will never agree to that, not in a million years. Just tell me, never. Yes, why? Why do I stress never here? Because I'm stressing the meaning of never, and you know this from the expression not in a million years. Okay, is that clear, guys? Okay, number 3 and 4, this pair. Let me see, number 3, I'll model it. I have the model answer here. Just a second. I think we are making progress, but some of you may not agree with me. I think we are making progress, but some of you may not agree with me. Okay, now, excellent. Very good. Very good, yes. Because I'm speaking about some idea that I'm convinced of, I'm having in mind, but some others don't believe in it. Very good. Number 4, I think we're making progress, but it's difficult to say at the point. I think we're making progress, but it's difficult to say at this point. What's the word that is stressed here?
Making.
I'll say it again, 1/3 time. Sorry?
Progress.
Yes, progress. Yes, exactly. That's it. Progress. I think we're making progress, but it's difficult to say at this point. We're making progress, yes, but you didn't see it. You can't see it. You can't perceive it now. Okay, but later on you will see it. Don't worry. This is the meaning. Number 5. It's hard to keep learners motivated, but not impossible. It's hard to keep learners motivated, but not impossible. Yeah. Hard. Yeah.
Hard.
Yeah. Very good. Number 6. It's hard to keep learners motivated, but you shouldn't give up. It's hard to keep. Okay. Excellent, excellent. Because learners, you know, they have a short attention pan, a short span of attention. So it's a very hard task to keep them all the time being attracted and sharing and motivated, because they have lots of things to do all the time, having to move here and there, thinking about things that deviate them from the teaching learning process and so on. This is the idea. So number 7, I guess. Is it 7? Yeah, 7.
Everybody.
Yes. Good answer, miss. Before I say it, not everybody will pass the exam, but most will. Not everybody will pass the exam, but most will. What's the word? As our colleague said, yes, everybody. Very good. Number 8 and the last one, not everybody will pass the exam, but many will come close. Yeah, not everybody will pass the exam, but many will come close. Excellent. And excellent, pass, yes. And this is American accent, pass. If you speak British accent, you will say pass. Okay, so here is the idea from this activity, that you stress, you vary your stress according to the message that you are going to convey, that you want to convey. And here are the tape script, the the model stress that I have been practicing a while ago. Now, methodology. I have some questions for you, and I have a video, a very important video for you about Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences. So please, your task now is to watch the video. It's a very important one, and it's really excellent in explaining that part of methodology, which is theory of multiple intelligences. So please watch the video and take notes answering these questions. The first question is, what do you know or remember about Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences? Why is it important for a teacher to know how learners like to learn? So you will listen. Just a second, guys. Let me check that this meeting is being recorded. Yeah, it's being recorded, because when our colleague called me and she interrupted the session, I wasn't sure if it was being recorded or not. So now you will watch the video. I'll tell you again, your task is watch the video, answer these questions. What do you know about Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences, and why is it important for a teacher to know how learners like to learn? Okay, if you don't know the meaning of multiple intelligences, don't worry. There is the answer in the video. Just a second. Let me share the screen here. I have it. Where is it? Yeah, here it is.
Hello. This presentation is by...
Just assure me, can you see, can you hear the sound and see the picture?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. Great. Thank Allah.
Abby Hutchinson. And I'm so excited to share this video about multiple intelligences. All right, so first things first, what is multiple intelligence? What a great question. It is a learning theory that was suggested in 1983 by Howard Gardner. It's composed of 8 categories. The theory of multiple intelligences actually broadens the definition of an intelligence. It recognizes individuals may have high intelligence in an area outside of what we think of the traditional areas of intelligence, math and English. In fact, most people have more than one area of intelligence. So let's take a look at what the 8 areas are. The first area is linguistic. These sorts of people are good with words, reading, and verbally expressing themselves. Next up are the logical mathematical intelligences. These sorts of people think scientifically. They quickly process data and numbers. They do it spontaneously and quickly. Third is the spatial intelligence. These individuals are good with visual cues, and they can easily navigate, do directions, design things, draw things. They can create. Now on to musical intelligence. These individuals like songs, rhythms, patterns, tunes. They're always connecting content to song. The kinesthetic or body intelligence. These individuals are good at controlling their physical movement. They're athletes. They do it with ease. They need to move. And we're on to interpersonal intelligence. These individuals are good at being sympathetic with others, or empathetic. They can perceive the needs of others and use that information to approach them. They work well in groups. Okay, interpersonal intelligence is when someone can understand their needs and feelings very well. They take that information about themselves and apply it to making usefulness of information about the rest of the world. Last but not least is the naturalist intelligence. These individuals understand the elements of the world, they love nature, and they learn easily looking at those sorts of patterns in the outside world. So, how do you use these things as a teacher? What do they mean to you? I'm glad that you asked. All right, the different intelligences affect the way students approach concepts and instruction that you give them in the classroom. Simply, teachers should address a variety of preferences and intelligences in their lesson plan. You should integrate different intelligences and the methods it takes to reach them. Okay, so does this mean that teachers have to make 9 different lesson plans for the same instructional time? No. It simply means to put all of the intelligences into the same lesson. Need some examples? Here's a few. These lessons integrate different intelligences. So go ahead and get started using the multiple intelligences theory. You're ready. And thanks for watching my video.
Okay, yeah, the sound is a little bit disturbing, bothering, right? Do you agree with me? Did you find
Yes,
it
yes, I agree.
disturbing?
I
Very
totally agree with
disturbing.
you.
Oh, my ear hurts actually. My ears hurt. Oh God. Anyway, did you get anything out of it? Let me see. How many kinds of intelligences do we have? Who can answer this? Let me see hands raised. How many kinds? I have Mrs. Fatima Mahmoud raising hand. Go ahead, miss.
And there are 8 categories of multiple intelligence.
Excellent. And can you tell us about them? What you remember about the names only of the categories, the learner types?
Okay. Linguistic, logical, mathematical,
Yeah.
visual, spatial, musical, kinesthetic,
Kinesthetic.
interpersonal,
Yeah.
interpersonal, intrapersonal, and naturalistic.
Excellent. Wonderful, miss. That's enough, actually. Let me ask Mrs. Hind, what kind of a visual learner is it? What's the preferences? How does this kind of person or student learn? In what way does this person learns visual? Yeah, we're all ears. We're listening to you. Mrs. Hind.
Those can learn by seeing.
Yes, by
Can you hear
seeing.
me?
Excellent. Yeah, I can hear you very well.
Yes. Yeah. They use their eye intelligence, you know?
Yes.
Their eye is intelligent and prefer illustrated materials like videos, diagrams, charts.
Excellent.
They
Excellent.
can draw, use building artists, they can use clues.
Okay, miss. Yes, thank you
Of
so
course,
much.
color, pictures, drawing, and projects will differ with them.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, very good. Have a look at this slide, guys. Who can tell me about the kinesthetic learners? The kinesthetic learners, those learners in this shape that I'm referring to on the slide, if you can see. Let me check the participants we have here. Mr. Ahmed, are you raising your hand or is it from the last activity? Okay, so Mrs. Amira, go ahead. The kinesthetic kind of learner.
Student who moves a lot.
Yes, excellent. Yes, they like the body movements.
Body language, yes.
And what kind of activities are relevant to those kind of learners?
TPR activity.
Excellent.
Running
Excellent.
dictation, mumming.
Excellent. Miming, excellent. Yes. In general, the activities where they can move and they can act and dramatize and wave hands and dance and like this. Yeah, they like to move. TPR activities in general. Excellent. Yes. What about the visual spatial, the artistic learners? Who can tell me about them? This kind of intelligence. Let me see. Mrs. Amira, Mrs. Hind all the time. I need new hands, new participants. Yeah, we have here Mrs. Hiba Saleh. Go ahead.
Yes, spatial.
Yes, spatial. Yeah.
Spatial uses visual to design to make something.
Do they like colors?
Yes.
Yes, they like to draw and colors and color things and yeah, and paint things and that sort of. They are artistic.
Collect
Very
things.
good.
Yes.
Okay. Excellent. And what kind of activities do you think are relevant to these kind of learners? The visual spatial, people who like to color. Of course, activities where they can color drawings, they draw, okay? And subjects like art,
Yes.
they are wonderful. Okay, very good. Mrs. Fathia, you are raising your hand. Go ahead, my dear colleague. Which one of these do you want to explain to us? Or even one or ones, okay? One type or two types or whatever number you want to illustrate. The logical, maybe. What about visual? We have spoken about this one.
Yes, yes.
What about the
What do you want to?
logical,
Yes,
maybe? Logical, mathematical? This
I
one
think
I'm referring to.
uh, help the student to make critical thinking, something like
Excellent.
this, inventing, explain the logic of something, and
Excellent.
solve them. He can
And
solve
you,
a
oh,
problem,
excellent, excellent.
and
Solve problems.
yes,
Wonderful. And what's the subject that they are excellent at?
again, please.
What's the subject, the school subject that they may be excellent in? The
I
school
think
subject.
science.
Science only? Maybe it's math. Maybe
Science,
you agree with me. Math.
mathematics. Yes, mathematics.
Solving problems.
Uh,
Yeah, doing sums and a formula and mathematical, uh, numbers. Okay, doing mathematical operations and logical operations like this. So they multiply
yes,
and they divide and they order things and they add or subtract and so on. That's it. Thank you. Very good. What about
thank
the
you.
naturalistic guys? Who can tell me about the naturalistic kind of intelligence? Let me check participants here. Mrs. Hind, go ahead, my dear colleague. Logical. No, sorry, not
Uh,
naturalistic.
naturalistic, they love everything about nature.
Yes.
They love to work outside the class, to observe nature more inside the class. They like the environmental projects,
Yes.
and they
Wonderful.
can use patterns that connected to the nature and the environment around them.
Excellent. That's it. That's a naturalistic kind of learner. He is intelligent. He is wonderful. He is fully understanding the subject or the area of knowledge when it has to do with the environment, the nature. You get them, those kind of learners. You get them out of class and you take them in a club or garden or an environment, not natural environment. Okay, so they excel in this area when they are in this atmosphere because they like this. And they like to learn about the environmental issues, by the way, and natural issues. Wonderful. What's an intrapersonal kind of intelligence or learner? Who can tell me? Intra. See, look at this guy. What's this boy doing now?
Yes,
Meditating?
into needs and feelings.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Thinking about the needs and feelings, all right, of oneself. What else, Mr. Ahmed? You are trying to say something? Is it you, my
Yes,
dear
Miss Hawa.
colleague? Yeah. Yeah.
Intrapersonal means that he allows people and tasks for themselves. Well, for example, they can choose their topics.
Okay. Yes, I can get something out of you because the sound is not clear. It cuts off because of the internet connection, but it's okay. Yes, they think about themselves. They can understand their feelings, needs, give themselves tasks. They have some kind of meditation or reflection, thinking from the inside of the person and about the inside of the person. Yes, that's it. Inside of the person. Okay. Do they, let me
I
ask
think
you, do
that
they like
is
to, go ahead, Miss Hind.
okay. In the picture, the intra person is doing yoga, or what does it
It's
mean?
like meditation.
You,
Yeah, it's like
you know
meditation, التأمل. It's like meditation, some kind of
that is
meditation. And yoga is
yeah,
meditation. Yes, yes, thinking about the oneself, the
yeah.
insides,
I think
and trying to understand, by the way, trying to understand the world through understanding the inside self of a human. Okay, so those kind of learners, by the way, like to learn individually, to work individually. They excel in learning alone.
he is not us. Yes, he
They
is
are not
not social person.
excellent. They are not social persons. Who are bad the social persons who have social intelligence of these
The
kinds of
intra person.
excellent. Say it again,
Interpersonal.
Mrs. N, please. Yes. Inter
Yeah.
interpersonal. Interpersonal kind of learner or kind of intelligence. Yeah, they are social. They are interactive. They like to work in groups. They excel in that. So what kind of activities can I provide to those kind of learners? What kind of
Cooperation.
activity? Sorry? Yes.
Uh, mingle activities, where
Excellent. Group.
discussions,
Mm-hmm.
debate, maybe.
Debate. Yeah.
Uh,
Excellent. Excellent. Yes.
any
Group
group
work.
where that we yes.
Interpersonal. Okay. Debate. Group
Yes.
work. Peer work. Discussion. Mingle activities. You know, mingle activities that students do together. They mingle. They stand up. They go around the
Yes.
classroom and they ask one another and they like the party that we had in the face-to-face session. You know, the party
Yeah.
where we had some music and I told you to mingle and we have a party like this actually. Okay. What about the verbal kind of intelligence or kind of learner? Who can tell me? Mrs.
About that.
Fatima Mahmoud. Yes, Mrs. Fatima, my dear colleague, go ahead.
Verbal. I think you are speaking about linguistic.
Excellent. Yes, that's it. How do they learn?
They learn by speaking written language, reading, writing, telling stories, listening to stories, and telling stories.
Excellent, miss. So, if I am, for example, explaining a certain rule or a lesson about the cycle of water, for example, so for verbal learners, for learners who are linguistic, I can provide some kind of theoretical or verbal or linguistic explanation first. Okay, for those learners, they will understand me. And then I can use, for example, a song about the cycle of water, the water cycle, for students who are musical, who like music. Okay, and maybe I have a mingle activity for students who are interpersonal about the cycle of the water cycle, for example. So this is how it goes. I vary my activities in order to suit the different kinds of learners. Okay, imagine how it goes. This is how it goes. Very good. So let's move on to another activity that is really wonderful and you will like it, inshallah. I have like a game for you. Okay, I will, just a second, I will copy the link and put it in the chat box. It's like a game on Kahoot. Kahoot is a digital website having educational games for any area of language. I I have designed one for you, and please go there. It's on multiple intelligence theory, and you have like a situation, and you say which the sentence or the situation refers to which kind of learner. Is he intrapersonal learner or musical, logical, etc. So let me put it in the chat box, and you press the link and go there in your Explorer, and you will find, just a second, yes, I have the chat here. I'll put it in the chat box for you, paste, and you press the link. By the way, I have like a bin code. Maybe he will ask you for the bin code. The bin code is here, 11 from the left, 117112. If he asks you for a code, just press this one, the pin code of the game. Go there and please play the game and tell me how it went. It's on multiple intelligences. If you can't do it, tell me, and we can play it together here on the Explorer I have. Take your time and enjoy it. Okay, did you find the link, guys? Hello? Did you find the link in the chat
Yes.
box?
Yes.
Do you know where the chat box is in the first place? Remember the technical session we had?
Yes.
Thank Allah. Okay, go ahead. Enjoy it. If it doesn't work, come back to me and we will play it together on the Explorer now. On my Explorer. You will have an icon like next. Okay, you press the word next, and they they transform you to the next stage or the next question.
13 17 20.
11 7 11 20 yeah.
Are living things.
Great, 10 people are playing the game. Wonderful. I need more. I need more people to join us. Please, when you have finished, just come back and tell me that you have finished and tell me about your score. Please, when you have finished, just tell me, okay? Don't leave me as, as such.
Yes.
Who finished this? Let me see.
Yes.
Who is it? Mrs. Hiba?
Yes.
I have Mrs. Hiba here. You played it. Okay. Did you get them all right? Did you get them all right?
No.
No? The 14 questions. Okay, we have Mrs. Amira, we have Mrs. Hind, and I played it by the way myself two times. One by the name Marwa and one by the name Saif before the session. I enjoyed it a lot. And we have Mrs. Fatima. What about the others, guys? Okay, so let's go back to this the PowerPoint here. Are the others still working on it? Okay. Here we have a table having the learner type on the left and what is this learner good at, okay, and how he learns best. He learns best by saying, hearing, and so on, and the activities that suit his or her kind of intelligence. So for example, we will just tackle one example and I leave the others for you to study at home because we have discussed them at large actually. The linguistic kind of learner is good at reading, writing, and stories, okay, and learns best by saying, hearing, and seeing words. All right. What kind of activities are suitable for this kind of learner? Memory game, I'll play it with you now. Trivia quizzes, I'll tell you about them now. Stories, you know them, and so on. Okay, we have 2 slides on this issue. 2 slides having the 8 kinds of intelligences. Okay, so let's move on to another activity here. Can you see this slide, guys? Having the... Yes, thank Allah. So let me ask you, what kind of teacher are you? What kind of teacher are you? Are you visual spatial? Are you linguistic? Are you kinesthetic? Are you logical, musical, intrapersonal, and so on? So your smartness is music smart. Are you music smart? You are smart when it comes to music, or you are smart when it comes to nature, people, body, words, picture, myself, yourself, I mean, numbers, and so on. And by the way, I have something which is very interesting here. Every type of these intelligences and smartness is referred to by a type of animal. So for example, the monkey. The monkey. What does the monkey refer to? What kind of intelligence can you imagine that the monkey is said to refer to? When we say that certain boy, certain learner, certain child is like the monkey. So why is this? Why do we call him like a monkey? Why? Of course, our children are monkeys. All of them. Go ahead and tell me. Let me see. We have people who are raising their hands all the time. Mrs. Fathaya, go ahead. Do you have anything to add?
I think the monkey is kinesthetic.
Excellent. Excellent. Because yeah, when you say that this child is like a monkey, we say it in Arabic. Even in Arabic, we say it. Oh, it's like a monkey because he's like a monkey because he likes moving all the time. He's moving. He doesn't sit still at the desk. Okay, so this learner is like the monkey. So this kind of intelligence or smartness refers to the is referred to by the symbol of an animal, which is a monkey. What about, guys, the bee? You know the bee? It's not the spelling bee this time. No, it's the bee, النحلة. Which kind of intelligence does the bee refer to? The bee. See? It's on a flower. It's on a plant. Having smell. Huh.
And
Smelling.
person.
Mrs. Fatima, is it you? Or is it Mrs. Hiba?
Hiba.
Mrs. Hiba. Yes. In intrapersonal? Who knows
Yes,
the answer? Just say it immediately. Please,
yes,
who knows the answer?
interpersonal.
Yeah.
Naturalist, Miss Maru.
Naturalist. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So the bee refers to the nature. The bee is like a fly. Okay, it's an insect, a flying insect, and all the time it's on the plants, the flowers, the branches, or smelling the odors. Okay, yeah. So it refers to the naturalistic intelligence. So what about the eagle? This one. What kind of intelligence does the eagle refer to? What's special about eagles in the first place? Who knows the answer? Just unmute and speak immediately. I will not look at the participants raising hands. I want to look at the pictures I have.
I think the eagle is visual spatial.
Why?
No, I think it's logical.
Just a second. Mrs. Fatima says it's visual. Why, Mrs. Fatima?
He has a hard eye.
Sharp eyesight.
Sharp
It's sharp
eye.
eyesighted. It's sharp eyesighted. It has
Was
good
it
memory.
using the mind's eye?
Mind eye, yeah. The eye itself, the visuals. Excellent. Yeah, actually I agree with you. It's visual. It refers to the visual spatial, by the way. Yeah. What about what's this? The dolphin. You know, the dolphin smiling at kids and parties and in shows and Eid and Al-Fitr Eid and so on. What kind of intelligence does the dolphin refer to? Try to imagine.
Interpersonal.
Excellent. Because it's social. It's social smart. Yes. It's interactive all the time, interacting positively with people and humans. Okay? Yes, I agree with you. What about what is it? The polar bear. What does it refer to? What kind of intelligence does it refer to?
Intrapersonal.
Intrapersonal. Excellent. Why? Why do you think so?
He always like to live alone
He loves
by
to live
himself.
alone.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. That's the idea. Living alone all the time and just eats and sleeps alone. Very good. Yes. That's it. Intrapersonal. It's myself smart. Very good. What about what's this? I can't see here. Let me show you something. I'll show you the model answers because I think they are very interesting area of knowledge. For example, the visual spatial kind of intelligence refers to picture smart and the animal is eagle. Linguistic refers to word smart and the animal is parrot. Why? You tell me, why parrot? Why parrot in particular? Why does it refer to words?
Repeated words.
Speaking all the time. Speaking, saying words, imitating. Excellent. Imitating others, saying words. Yeah, parrot. So even in our life in Arabic, in the Arabic language itself, we say, stop speaking, you are like a parrot. Stop speaking. You are speaking so much.
Repeating, yeah.
Yes, or you are imitating and repeating. Yes, you are like a parrot.
Yeah.
Excellent, Mrs. Hind. That's it, actually. And the monkey, we spoke about it, and the elephant and the whale. What about the whale? Why is it musical? Why does it refer to music? What kind of Sound
he
doesn't make.
produces sound and tones to connect or communicate with other worlds. He get out from his mouth tones
Excellent. Yes,
like
الصفارة, the whistle. The whistle. Yes, he's whistling.
like he is yeah, echo or whistling to communicate and to see where is he going. He
Excellent. So
using echo.
he uses the song or the sound or the tune or the whistle in order to communicate with others, in order to see at night, and so on. You can surf the internet, by the way, for more information about the reasons behind referring to the kind of intelligences using the animal type. Okay, and the polar bear, we spoke about it, and the dolphin and the bee. That's a wonderful area here. I like this idea, by the way. I have a wonderful game for you. What kind of intelligence are you as a teacher? So we have Mentimeter. We have a link where you go. I'll put it in the chat box. I'll copy it and put it in the chat box, and you will click on it, and you have like a survey, like the poll I have made a while ago, but on the Mentimeter. It's a website. Okay, I'll press it just a second. I'll paste it in the chat box, and you press it and you go there. You will find the question. What kind of intelligence are you as a teacher? You write your kind of intelligence, the kind of intelligence that you think you are of yourself, okay? And I will have it like the answer is like a cloud. I will show it to you when you finish the activity. Go there, please. And I have this, I have the show here. You go there, you just press it and you go. And I will see, I'll watch the answers, the responses coming out of you, coming in from you. Enjoy it. What kind of intelligence are you as a teacher? I have written those responses on answers before the session. Those are mine. I need to see participants here. Just press on the link, click on it, and play the game. It's not a game, it's a survey. If he asks you for a code, you write this code. Okay? This code, this one. Auditory. Somebody is auditory. Wonderful. Yeah, some other participant here is linguistic. It's called linguistic because linguistics means the area or the area of the field of expertise which refers to the linguistics, the language itself. Interpersonal. Wonderful. Okay, the biggest word refer to the most number with the same kind of intelligence. Okay? People are visual here. Yeah, some people are linguistic, visual, and logical. I like this answer, by the way, and we will discuss it after a while, by the way. Some people are auditory, linguistic, interpersonal, visual. Somebody wrote the code here. Okay, it's not. It's the code of something else, by the way. Someone is naturalist. Yeah. Your answers keep coming in. Go ahead. Only 8 persons, only 6 persons actually, in fact, are interacting with me. What about the others? Okay. Interpersonal again. All right. Okay, I'm sorry, my cat jumped. Bad cat you are. Okay. Linguistic. Okay, that's all. What about the others? Guys, go to the chat box and press the link, please. Okay, let me discuss with you. Yes, some people are still writing here. Musical. Yes, I like musical people because I am a musical person. I have lots of kinds of intelligences, thanks to Allah. Logical, mathematical. Okay. That's great. Now back to the presentation. Let me ask you a question, guys. Can a person have multiple intelligences at the same time? Somebody here wrote, if you remember, I'll show you. Somebody wrote here linguistic, visual, logical. So he likes words, he learns by words, by language, by explanation, and he learns by videos and posters and drawings and like this. Oh, my cat is just biting me. Stop it. Okay, logical, he likes maths as well. Okay, can you answer me? Mrs. Fatima, go ahead, Mrs. Fatima.
Yes,
What do you
Miss
think?
Mar, what was me that
It was you, yeah.
I written this answer.
Yes. Do you think that a
I
person can
like,
have... Go
yes,
ahead,
I
Miss.
think that one person can have multiple intelligence, more than one or two categories in the birth.
Excellent.
For example, I like to use to tell stories and attract students. I admire I am adoring of solving problems. I like to use puzzles. I like
Excellent. So
also
you're
cards, posters, photos.
excellent, Miss. Yeah, I like this. Yeah, some
So
of
the
us...
person can have more than,
Sorry, again, this part, please.
and every person can have more than one category in his personality. And I, as a teacher, can use more than one multiple intelligence in the class with my
Excellent, Miss.
students. More than
More than kind of activity. Different kinds of activities to vary, to suit... You vary your activities to suit the kind of learners. Okay, excellent, Miss. That's the idea of multiple intelligence theory of Howard Gardner, the very famous expert. Okay, expert in methodology. So now we move on to the lesson planning and how you plan your lesson in order to suit the different kinds of intelligences. So please, later on, inshallah, you can study this, not to waste the time, because we have spoken about this at large during the session, the kind of activities, the kind of learners, how to vary your methods, how to vary the strategies and techniques in order to suit the different kinds of learners. One activity may suit different kinds of intelligences. For example, phase one in the lesson plan here. Phase one, tell the learners the aims of the lesson. Okay, so tell, this is verbal. Okay, explain that after the lesson they will be able to use most of the vocabulary used to describe the facilities in a school. Invite them to suggest situations in which they may have to describe their school in English. So this is logical because they have to think critically. And this is linguistic because you are providing explanation, verbal explanation. Okay, these are lots of stages in the lesson plan that suit different types of intelligences. I will not make it take much time, because we can study it later on. I'll put you the this slide, of course, or PowerPoint presentation on the WhatsApp. Don't worry, you have time to study it at large. Here we have the most important part of our session today, which actually is my preference. Okay, I like it. The different kinds of activities. You know some of them, and let me tell you about others. So let's start by the chants. Chants. What's the meaning of chants? What are chants? They are the
songs.
Songs. That's it. Yes, yes. So we have
Right.
educational songs. I have a song for you. Please watch the song, listen to it, and tell me what grammatical point does it refer to. Okay, and what kind of intelligence does it suit? Just a second. I have lots of windows here. Yeah, here is the song. Please enjoy it. I'll tell you now. What is your task, guys? Are you going to write something? Are you going to say yes or no? Are you going to write something?
Yes.
Write what? You are not going to write. You will listen and watch. Okay? You watch what exactly? You watch the news? The broadcast news? The news broadcast?
Song.
No, a song. A song. Is it a romantic song? Here it
No.
is. or what kind of song it is? Just a second. What kind of song it is?
Grammatical
Education.
song.
It's educational song. Okay. So after you listen, you tell me two things. What's the grammatical point? Does it practice this song? Okay. And what kind of learners does it suit? The song is for what kind of intelligence? Okay. What kind of smartness of learners? So let's enjoy it. It's, I guess, loud in voice, but try to adapt to it.
Must I make my bed, Dad?
Yes, you must.
Must I wear a skirt, Dad?
Yes, you must.
Must I go to school, Dad?
Yes, you must.
Must I do my homework, Dad?
Yes, you must.
Must I clean my shoes, Dad?
Yes, you must.
Can I play in the park, Dad?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Must I make my bed, Dad?
Yes, you must.
Must I wear a skirt, Dad?
Yes, you must.
Must I go to school, Dad?
Yes, you must.
Must I do my homework, Dad?
Yes, you must.
Must I clean my shoes, Dad?
Yes, you must.
Can I play in the park, Dad?
Yes, you can.
Did you like it? How did you find it?
Yes.
Very enjoyable, of
Funny.
course. Okay, what grammatical point does it practice? Who can tell me? I have here Mrs. Lamia. Go ahead.
The rule must.
Excellent. Must, and at the end can. At the end of the song
Okay.
was can. Okay, very good. And Mrs. Hind,
Okay.
please tell me. Yes, who is it?
Yes.
Who is it?
Yeah.
Miss Lamia.
Miss Lamia, yes.
Can I speak?
Of course.
Okay.
We are all ears.
Okay, thank you. Here in the song, he uses must to express obligation. You have to do something. Okay. Use must. At the end of the song, he uses can to express permission by using can.
Excellent. Yes.
I
Wonderful.
think it is deal with musical intelligence. I think.
Excellent. Excellent. Yes, musical and another kind, by the way. Another kind also. Lots of kinds.
Visual?
You can tell me.
Visual,
Yes.
can say.
Miss Hind, I can listen to you. Yeah, go ahead. Thank you, Mrs. Lamia.
Yes,
Wonderful.
I think it can go with musical learners and kinestatics learners because it's considered to be an action song.
Yes, they will act it. They will play. They will try to dance to sing along with it, moving hands and going around and trying to dance and jumping. This is one thing. And musical, as you said, musical because it's a lot of music. Also visual because it's a video, and audio,
Yes.
auditory because they can listen.
Yes.
See, four kinds of intelligences in one activity, which is the song. Okay, it's wonderful. When you understand it, you can do it. Okay. Another activity of these is the memory game, and I will apply it with you. Now, guys, we have the memory game. The memory game, from its name, you have to memorize something, some words. For example, you have here different types of fruits. 1 minute for you. I give you 1 minute to have a look at them study them very well, try to memorize as many kinds of fruit as you can, and then I will hide it. I'll show another slide, and then you have 2 minutes to write in the chat box in one sentence, okay, in just one answer, whatever kinds of fruit you remember, okay? And the winner is the participant who provides or writes the most fruit or the most number of fruit, okay? Now you have 1 minute to read them, to have a look at them and memorize them, because in the classroom, inside the classroom, we put, yes.
Miss Marwa, I have already written them at all, so I can see it
No,
very well.
you shouldn't write, miss. You should be careful for that your learners don't write them down in this stage, okay? The stage of writing comes after this one. So they study them at first,
You
because they will, by the way, they
you
will
give
stand
us
up.
much time, so
It's 1 minute. I took time to explain
we
this
have
in
the whole time to cheat.
Okay, don't worry. The purpose from this activity or from this game is that I tell you about the game itself. So in classroom, you just put the cards, the flashcards or the words on the ground in a circle, in the shape of a circle. And you get your students to have a look at them in 1 minute to study them, and then you collect them and hide them, and you ask them in 2 minutes to write as many words as they can, dividing them, of course, into groups, and the group with the most words are the winners, okay, or is the winner. All right, this is called the memory game. So here, let me check the chat box now. I'll hide it, and you write in the chat box. Let me see who will have or write the the most words here. Let me check your answers. Your answers keep coming in visual, Mr. Yeah, from the last activity. Write in the chat box the words that you remember. In one answer, okay? Don't write multiple answers in different trials. Yeah, in one answer you write, okay, for example, you write banana, comma, comma, like this. And in one answer, for me to see the names and the answers. Mrs. Lamia, only banana and apple? Not enough, Mrs. Lamia. Try again, okay? Mr. Sayed Khamis, my dear colleague, grapes and pa. What is pa? Try again and write more and more in order to win. Mrs. Heba wrote pineapple and lemon. 2 words only. Pineapple, lime, lemon. Wonderful. Mrs. Rida Saidi wrote grapes, orange, fig, lime. Okay, Miss Heba Saleh wrote, just a second, you have to write them all at once, okay, for me to know the winner, to count for you, okay, not separate answers, all of them, all the answers at once, مرة واحدة. Mrs. Rida wrote cherry and avocado. Mrs. Fathaya, see the answer, wow, raspberry, banana, apple, lime, lemon, papaya, avocado. That's wonderful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Till now, the winner is, let me check. Let me see. I'll not say. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mrs. Amira, 5 words. And Mrs. Fatima, my dear colleague, oh my God. All of them, I guess. Grapes, apples. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh my God, 11. And Mr. Said, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, so Mr. Said and Mrs. Fatima are the winners till now. Let me check Miss Hind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh my God, Mrs. Hind is the winner till now. 12 words. Great, you are doing great. See how it's like a competition? Oh, Mrs. Lamia, oh my God. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let me check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So Mrs. Lamia, yes, you are with them. You are a winner too. Okay. Okay, let me check. Mrs. Hiba Saleh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Only Mrs. Hiba. That's not much. Mrs. Summer, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You are a winner, Mrs. Summer, again. And Mrs. Fatima, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 again. Mr. Ahmed, too many words. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, Mr. Ahmed is the winner. Please clap your hands for Mr. Ahmed. I clap my hands for you. Wonderful, Mr. Ahmed, my dear colleague. Excellent. Do you like it? This is called the memory game. Do you like the activity? Tell me, do you like it?
Yes. Mr. Ahmed, but
more
is not here in the picture. He is cheating.
Is it cheating? Oh my God. Okay, let him cheat
not
because we have a
similar
wonderful competition. It's not a yeah. He's adding more words. He's adding more words that are not in the game in the first place.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is adding watermelon. Yes.
Okay. You are concentrating more than possible actually, because I didn't want to say it to let him be the winner. Anyway, it's enjoyable and fun, and you can practice it inside the classroom. We have other types, the TBR, which we practiced in other sessions, in last ones, and today you told me about it, okay? And the miming, we had it. I told you about it lots of times, the miming, where I can like make actions, I or my students, I get them on the board, okay, before the class, and they have like the act or perform some actions, and the students try to express this using the present continuous tense, for example, or whatever tense you want. This is called the miming. You act. It's like imitating or acting. Okay. I have a wonderful game, but not now. After 5 minutes, let me tell you about the trivia quizzes. This is one last activity that I want to tell you about. The trivia quizzes is a kind of activity which is made up of questions. Some quizzes, okay, about different areas of knowledge or subjects at school. So we have four quizzes that have to do with art. We have 4 quizzes that have to do with, for example, math. We have 4 quizzes that have to do with religion, 4 quizzes that have to do with Arabic language, and so on. And we divide our students into 4 groups, and we give them the first round, اللي هو the first quizzes about the first area of knowledge. Okay, please mute yourselves. And when they finish answering the questions, the first kind of quiz, okay, this is the first round, I record the answers and give them points, and then they exchange the answers with other groups, every 2 groups together, changing the answers. And then I give them the second round. I hand them the second kind of quiz about, for example, religion, okay, and they answer the quizzes, which are the quizzes like some questions on religion, for example, okay, and I record the answers and give them points, and they exchange the answers. So this is called the trivia. Let me write it here, guys. Okay, I'll write it here for you. The trivia quizzes. Trivia, yes, trivia. If you can see the screen, trivia quizzes. Second, quizzes are important because, you know, they are wonderful with the logical students. They like answering questions, and students who are verbal or linguistic, they like writing and answering questions. Okay, trivia quizzes. Let me highlight it for you. Okay, big font, bold. Okay, now back to the kinds of activities. We have mingle activities. I told you about it. Who can tell me about the running dictation? This is the last activity we are going to speak about in our session. Let me show you the running dictation. Have you ever heard about it, the running dictation? Mrs. Fathaya puts me a like on in the chat box. She likes the whole thing. It's wonderful today, thank Allah. Though I was a little bit actually bothered and disturbed by our colleague calling me and interrupting the session, and I got frightened not to complete it actually, because because the internet connection is everything in online sessions, as you know. So, okay, I will tell you about the running dictation. You have a passage or some sentences. Okay, guys, just a second. Let me share it. I have like a passage. I divide the passage into sentences and I divide students into groups. Okay, every group is made up of 2 students only, the reader and the writer. I stick the sentences on walls of the classroom and the students have to go. One of them is the runner, اللي هو the reader, okay, or the dictator, who runs to the wall and try to read the sentence and come back to dictate it to the writer in the group. Okay, and the first group to complete this activity, to make up the sentences or fill in the gap activity or whatever, is the winner. It's called running dictation because dictation يعني إملاء. They dictate each other in the group. Okay, every one of them dictates his colleague or her colleague in the group by running to the wall, coming back again, dictating them the information, and the writer writes down. And they, by the way, they swap roles, they exchange roles. The writer becomes the reader or the runner, and the runner becomes the writer, and so on. Okay, and the quickest one to finish is the winner. The quickest group to finish is the winner. This is called running dictation. I have something which is very interesting for you to recap or wrap up the session, which is just a second, a spinning wheel, a wonderful spinning wheel. I'll share it here on my screen for you in order to practice it together, and you will answer me. So let me just a second. It's like a spinning wheel. I have designed it for you, wallahi, by myself on WordWall. WordWall is a wonderful kind of website. I like digital tools. These are called digital tools. Let's play it together. Leave. It's like a reflection on the module. You will answer these questions. So now, before I start, I will nominate. Raise your hands, please, people who want to share with us. You will answer some questions on the module, okay? Or even a speaking task for 1 minute. I'll ask you to speak about something for 1 minute, okay? Or describe an activity that we studied today in 1 minute. Or give me, for example, a certain example for something, or synonym for something, okay? For certain word. And this is how it goes. Let me see the participants before we start. Who wants to share with us? Let me see your hands. Raising hands. Who wants to share? Mrs. Fatima, of course. Let's start with Mrs. Fatima. Okay, so we have Mrs. Fatima. Okay, I will start. Okay, I will spin the wheel. This is a wheel. I will spin it. And when it stops, you will have your question. And you will answer this question in 1 minute. Okay, Mrs. Fatima? Got it?
Okay. Okay, Miss.
Wonderful. I'll spin it. Read your question, please.
Describe your biggest dream.
Yes, describe your biggest dream in a minute, please, Mrs. Fatima.
I dream to be a native speaker of English.
Wonderful. How would you do this? How would you do this, miss?
By listening a lot, making a conversation with native speakers.
Excellent, miss. I like your answer. Actually, a teacher of English, a person who is a professional in ELT world, has to have this ambition, okay, to be like natives, to sound more natural and having connected speech, okay, producing the words, the intonation, the pitch level, the way how they speak in a natural way, spontaneous way, not struggling all the time with providing or memorizing words or rules or grammatical rules. That's wonderful. Let me eliminate this because we have answered it, and we have another participant. Let me check. Raising hands. Raise your hands, guys. Participants. Active participants. Don't be afraid. It's nothing new. Mrs. Fathia, my active trainee here. Okay, Mrs. Fathia, just a second. I'll spin the wheel for you. Okay. Oh my God. Read your question, please. Mrs. Fathia, unmute yourself and read your question, please.
What's a miming activity? I think miming activity is trying to express the meaning of a word without saying a word without speaking. Just try to act the meaning of a sentence or a word.
Excellent, Miss. Yes, you act the situation, and the students express it using a sentence, or even they give the word. By the way, it's suitable for words as well. Not only grammatical rules like the present continuous tense, maybe words as well. He acts the word, and students say the word, or he acts the situation, the tense, and they use, for example, the present continuous tense to express it. That's wonderful. Thank you so much. Let us eliminate this, because we have answered it, and see another participant. This is the last activity in our module, by the way. We are going to leave after a while, after we finish it. I need some other participant. One of my colleagues, please. Mr. Said, you like it? Okay, let's start. I'll spin it for you. Okay. Oh my God. Okay, read your question, please.
What is the difference between dynamic verbs and static verbs?
You
And
can tell us.
the main difference between dynamic verbs are action verbs that need someone to do an action. But static verbs are or state verbs. They don't need action. They are thinking verbs. They are love and hate verbs. They are possessive verbs. We use the to and would to express habit with dynamic verbs, but we use only use the to express habits about dynamic verbs. Would is used with action verbs only, but both are used
Excellent.
with the to.
Yeah. Excellent answer from an excellent colleague as usual.
Is
Thank
that
you
correct?
so much. Of course, yes, that's totally 100% correct, of course. Wonderful. Yeah, as I've said, excellent answer, an excellent answer coming from an excellent colleague, of course, as usual. Thank you so much. Let us eliminate this and have another participant. After we finish it, I'll say goodbye to you. Okay? Who can participate with us? Hello? People who are going to sleep. I know you are tired, but we have finished. Let's enjoy it. Who wants to share? Hello.
Okay, Miss Mara, if it is an
Mrs.
easy, if it is an easy question, I'll answer it. Okay.
Of course, it's an easy question, inshallah. Don't worry.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Mrs.
I'll
Lamia?
go ahead.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yes. So a question about you. Let's read the question, please.
Okay. What did you used to love doing as a teenager?
Huh. In 1 minute, tell us. Lots of things.
I can't really remember.
Please try.
I
Okay,
enjoy
let it
really.
be. Okay. Okay. You can
I
modify it
used
to
to
be
play
a child, for example. Not merely, not
child.
necessarily a teenager, as a child maybe. Yes. Or a teenager, as you like.
Teenager. I can't remember really, but I think I was very active girl. I like playing always in the street.
Really? That's interesting.
Really, really. It's a bad habit. It's a bad habit. Not a good one.
No. As a child, it's normal. Of course, it's normal as a child to love going outside and seeing people.
I can't remember anything else.
Don't worry. That's
As a
great.
moment.
Okay, don't
it's
worry.
okay.
That's great. Thanks for participation. Wonderful. Okay,
It's
another
your
participant here. Let me check raising hands. Wallahi, it's fun and enjoyable. Don't worry, it's just a game. It's not a test, and we are brothers and sisters together. Okay?
you can ask, and if anyone make the question first, so if anyone wants to answer, he
I have
can answer.
a good idea, but maybe I have Mrs. Fathaya
Yeah.
here. Let's have her. Okay, Mrs. Fathaya, let me spin the wheel for you. Yes. You can read your question, please.
Talk about your first trip with your friends for 1 minute. I think my first trip with my friends was when I was in the third year in school. It was a trip to Rashid. It was a journey with the school friends. It was fun. I climbed the mountains. I go on a float in the Nile. And we visited the museum of Rashid. It was fun. I think it was fun.
Oh my God, wonderful, wonderful answer as usual. Thank you so much. That's great. Rashid is a wonderful city, actually. Okay, so another participant here. We have just 4 questions and we can go. Mrs. Fatima Mahmoud, my dear colleague, you can participate with us. Oh, just a second, I'll share it. Let me spin the wheel for you. It's easy, don't worry. Okay. Read your question, please. Mrs. Fatima, describe the memory game. Can you hear us?
Yes, miss. Describe the memory game. It's a set of cards with some pictures on one side, and each picture appears on 2 cards. We put them to the underground, maybe, or to the board. Then ask the students to try to find some cards that are similar, or to memorize the cards names.
Yes, that's it. Thank you so much. That's it. Yeah, we have already played it together, and it was fun actually. One more participant, or that's enough, as you like, as you decide. We have Mrs. Hind Rahmani, of course. Oh, is this Mr. Saad, my dear colleague? I don't know you, by the way. Okay, we have Mrs. Hind. You can go ahead. I'll spin the wheel for you. Okay, read your question.
It didn't appear yet.
What's a TBR activity?
It's a downloading.
What's a TBR?
Yes, what's a TBR activity?
Yeah.
It's an acronym for total physical response.
Yeah, okay. And what
When
kind
the
of
teacher uses his hands, the teacher used his hands to explain the words to students, and students try to uh, imitate the teacher and do the action and see the words. It's good
is it
for
is it TBR or miming?
accelerate. No,
I guess you're
TBR is different. From
yes. Yes, it's different from miming, but
total
yes.
use
Total physical response activities, yeah. The body, yes, that's
we
it. Yes,
use
the body.
action. His body,
Excellent.
yes.
Excellent. Yeah. Body movements and actions, activities where they move and they go around the class and they act and they dramatize. Very good. Yes, that's it. Thank you so much. Let me eliminate it. We have only 2 questions and maybe 2 participants. Mr. Saad. Who is Mr. Saad?
Yes, Dr. Marwa, if you can hear my voice and
Oh,
recognize it,
Mr.
you will.
Ahmed. Mr. Ahmed, my dear
Yes.
colleague, Mr. Ahmed Abd Salam. Oh my God, why
Hello,
didn't you
good
tell me
evening.
from the very beginning? Good evening.
I do. I have many trainees and I have made the emails for them. I don't know how I get into
the training, but we will take it sometime. It's a great activity, Mrs. Marwa, and it's a great reflection for this module. I'm happy to be with you for the first time this year, and we were together last year, and I seized the chance to be with you.
Oh my God. Guys, I have to introduce to you Mr. Ahmed Abdessalam, my dear colleague, my fellow trainer in T program and attacks program. He was one of the most excellent. He is excellent.
Ms. Marwa.
Yeah, you are
Thanks, Ms.
awesome
Marwa.
kind of
And
trainer.
I wanted to greet Mrs. Hinda Rahmani. It was with me last training and some of them. And thanks for giving the chance to greet my friend, Mr. Osama Habib. He was my colleague at the Faculty of Education, the Manhoor Administration, also Mr. Ahmed Hauda.
Yes. You know all of these persons?
Yes, indeed.
Wonderful.
Yes, yes.
Can't imagine.
Hello, Mr. Ahmed.
Yeah, oh my God.
Hello, Mr. Osama Habib. Mr. Osama
You
is
are my dear love.
Thanks, Mr. Osama.
I have to tell you
Thanks,
guys that Mr. Ahmed Abdessalam is one of the most kind persons. He's a kind person, by the way, and he's very knowledgeable about methodology, by the way. That's why he is the person who is going to answer this question, inshallah. Okay, ready to participate with us? Okay, take your question.
I will do my best, Mr. Osama.
By the way, your participation today is wonderful for me. I'm over the moon, actually. Okay, so can you please, if you don't mind, read the question? It's a funny question.
Really, I am lucky that I still have my mother, and I wish that Allah grant her more health and give her the health that can continue as I can get her. My mother, really, she has faced some problems, health problems during Corona, and I thank God thanks Allah, that I am still have a mother. Some of us lost his mother in the past year, and I'm lucky to be with her. What complains, my mother really loved me a lot, and I don't think she complained of me one day. Really, Mrs. Marwan, she has never complained of me.
I believe you.
In reality,
I believe you, Allah. You are
loved me
honest.
a lot. She expressed her prayers to me, and I still gain this facility with her. Allah make it easier for me thanks to her prayers and her existence in my life.
Okay, now I know why people like you, Mr. Ahmed, and why you are a very special person, a very kind-hearted person. Okay, first of all, I want to tell you something. I wish you all the best. I wish her all the best. May Allah bless her, and may Allah keep her safe. And my father too had some difficulties during coronavirus. He had this corona, and we said he was going to die. Okay, so thank Allah that he is safe now, and thank Allah that your mother is safe, and that all the mothers in the world are safe, because we are nothing without them, actually. So thank you so much for being with us today, and thank you all my participants, and let us end this wonderful session by these kind words. Thanks for everyone who joined us today, and this has been a wonderful module only because you were a part of it. Thank you so much, all my colleagues. I learned from you. And Mr. Ahmed, it has been a great honor having you today. God bless you and your family and everyone that knows you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Marwa. It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So have a good night, guys. Bye-bye.
Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Let me stop the recording. Thank you so much.
Thank you.